On this GoPro because in the last video I actually broke my G7X. I dropped it and the camera lens cracked. So this video has actually been waiting a long time, and that's because I just wanted to make sure this GoPro actually recorded quite good, and it does actually record quite good. I actually think this may even be better than my G7X in some scenarios. But what happened, I sold the Audi. If you did follow me on Instagram, you will know that I sold the Audi. So shout out to Global Motors. I put it for sale and they agreed to buy it within the hour, and it's always nice selling to a dealer because they know they're going to come, take the car, not going to be tire kickers. A huge thank you to Global Motors, they took the car. But why did I sell the Audi? I'm quickly going to go over, the car's literally in front of me here. I'm going to go over quickly why I sold the Audi, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you never stick to anything. I bought the Audi as a daily to drive me from up north to down south and to run all over, a good run around, and it did do that very well. The one thing that I hated about the Audi is that you couldn't change the stereo. I didn't have MMI, I didn't have MMI, AMI, I didn't have any of that shit. I had no Bluetooth, no USB, no aux cable. It was actually so frustrating. Wasn't a very good choice for the channel. The more you modern, the worse they get. Putting coilovers on it drove awful. They hate being modified, they hate being low, they hate being touched. Not cool. So I got something which is cool. I can change the stereo. I got something that's petrol. I got something even better than the Audi. It's way more comfortable, way more specs, way cheaper, way cooler. It is cool. A lot of you are gonna absolutely hate it. So, without further ado, let's show you what I have bought.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste.
Now a lot of you are probably thinking, what the hell is that? Well, that is an Lexus GS 300. A lot of you might notice these as a Toyota Aristo. Pretty much the same car. The Aristos just come turboed pretty much. This has got a 2JZ, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying that wrong. It is actually got a 2JZ with an automatic gearbox. Now this example has got 70,000 miles on it. 70,000 miles. Never failed an MOT. Well, not that I seen, unless I weren't looking hard enough, but what I seen, never failed an MOT. Now, why would I swap an Audi for one of these? This has got everything that Audi has got and way more. This has got heated seats. It's an auto, which I know that I said I didn't want an auto, and that's just because I don't trust the new German gearboxes after I had the Mercedes. This is automatic, heated seats, cruise control. It's got curtains in the back, actual curtains in the back. It's got a radio that I can actually change instead of just using a Bluetooth FM transmitter in a new shape Audi. FM transmitters. No. Now this is in Lexus Gold. Very sort of hit and miss with some people. I love it. It's Lexus Gold with chrome wheels. So 90s. A lot of people hate the colour, but I actually was looking for some sort of gold colour to wrap the Soarer. So when I seen this gold, I was like, oh, they probably do look better in black, but I didn't want another black car. It is so fucking comfortable. It's like driving a sofa on wheels. Now, I did actually message Jamie FYD and say, look, I'm looking at these, what are they like? He said, get one. They're the best dailies ever. So, thank you, Jamie. I've got one. The one thing he did say is, if you're gonna buy one, get one that's already got a set of coilovers on it, because the coilovers are really expensive. Now this has got a brand new set of HSDs. They're like £800 coilovers. I paid just over 2 grand for this car with 70,000 miles, HSD coilovers, wheels which are worth like 800 quid. They're a bit knackered, but they're still, it's slow, it's so slow. It's got an open diff. My guy in the Bentley is. I have never been in a car that does 0 to 10 quicker than this. Honestly, I've took everyone out, and 0 to 10 is so fucking fast. I don't know how. 0 to 10, you ready? Woo! We're actually on the way now to the green light office because I'm gonna go, they've got a radio in their office. I'm gonna fit a radio to this car, something that I've not been able to do in a daily in a long time because I had a Merc and then I had an Audi, and you can't do anything. The speakers are crap in the Audi. These speakers are far better. These come with a built-in sub from factory in the parcel shelf. He's actually changed it for a really big vocal one. I just need to buy an amp. There's literally nothing wrong with it. It's so cool. Got fully electric seats, you've got so much storage, 2 glove compartments there, which is huge. You've got a fully electric steering wheel, which can go up, for blah, blah, blah. Even when you press the key and it comes up and forward. This is a luxury car. Back in the day, this was competing with like the 7 Series and stuff. This is an expensive car back in the day. The door shuts. Nice and expensive. There's no rattles, you don't hear any road noise. It was just kind of just like, oh yeah, I have an Audi, but it just annoys me because it beeps at me every time. It beeps when it thinks the windscreen washer fluid is too low. Oh, it beeps when there's a headlight range adjuster. Why do we even need a headlight range adjuster? We don't fucking need a headlight range adjuster, but yet Audi put one on, and I've managed to sell the Audi and keep some money in the bank as well. Like, love it. And the good thing is, there's a lot of mods you can do to this car. The aftermarket scene is very big in this. You can get Aristo kits, and you can actually turbo these for cheap. Seriously, you can actually turbo them for relatively cheap. Not sure if I'm going to be doing that because I just want a comfortable daily, and it's perfect. And the best thing about it, for some reason, it is so low. The guy who had this before me had like huge like wedge wheels on it, and he was like proper stancy boy, and he had it so low. He's raised it a little bit and put these wheels on, so it definitely does need some spacers or a new set of wheels. But I said, was it like scraping? He says for some reason the sills are like way up in the car, whereas the Audi, it wasn't even this low, and it hit on everything. I couldn't even go over a grid without scraping. This, I've not scraped in it once. I can drive up curves, I can go over speed bumps. It just doesn't scrape. Everything's just nice and tucked away from the ground, so you can slam these. Right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fit this radio. So we got a radio here. It's just a double dim one. It's nothing fancy. I am gonna get a like a nice fancy touchscreen one, but just for now, so I can put more power through the speakers and actually run an amp, I'm gonna put this one in and actually play USB straight from there instead of using the transmitter thing here. So yeah, it's not the nicest one. This was in the Tegra, which is over there, so I know it's quite annoying radio and a few things, but it'll be better than this one in there. That's gonna just whoop, pop in there. So yeah, let's do it. Put the car in neutral. I did just research it a little bit, just because obviously this isn't a video. And see, look at the wheel. Woo, and it comes out for you. Lovely jubbly. So put the car in neutral. That's what we yank. And then there's 2 screws down there. Well, there's actually only one, so I'm guessing someone had a, oh yeah, he definitely would have had a aftermarket one in because he's got a sub in, so there's actually only 1 bolt. So you see there's 1 bolt down there, and that just goes over there. So now we've got the 2 bolts there, 1, 2, 3. Get that out. I think that's going to come out together, and then we'll obviously just have to either use this cage, or hopefully this we just bolt this one to the side of that cage. Will be in there. But yeah, that just pulls out. So I'm just going to unbolt the connector, all the connectors at the back. And there is actually a little bit of a cage there, so this should just bolt straight to that. I have got a wiring harness which I got for £3 off eBay. I'm going to need 2 hands for this. So guys, after talking about how easy this will be to change the radio, it's not. Someone's been messing about with the plugs. I should have shown you, but I've just plugged it all back in. I forgot to show you guys. Basically, the wiring harness that I've been sent did not match up at all. So I just thought I might have got sent a different wiring harness, but then I've googled it, and these are all the GS300's wiring harness. They look like that, but the wiring on there looks nothing like them. The plugs don't look anything like them. The plugs definitely don't even match up with the radio, so I know that something's wrong there. Maybe I've got a different year or something. But first of all, I thought someone just made their own plugs, but then again I was like, oh no, because it goes in the back of this radio, so these should match up with that radio. That's how it works, but they don't. Not at all. So I thought, well, no problem, I'll just wire it in myself. I've got this cost me £3. I'll just chop this up and just put the wires where I want them. No, because every single wiring harness on Google for this car is different. They all say different things, so I'm like, oh great. And I've seen that someone has actually manually wired in an ignition live, a illumination and a constant. Someone's actually wired them in, which is strange, especially when it just goes to the plug which goes into that radio. It is strange, it is really strange. It looks like someone's wired it in for an aftermarket radio, but it still works with the standard radio, which is weird. It's kind of almost like I'm looking at import wiring instead of like UK wiring, but this is UK spec, so I'm confuzzled, to be honest. So I've just put it in the GS300 group. Hopefully someone's come across that issue before, but sadly I won't be able to fit this radio, so but luckily enough it all goes together nice and very easily, so I'm just putting the standard radio back in, so at least I've got some tunes. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get that fixed next time. But so guys, after a bit of research, I've realised that it's actually got an amp and it's behind here, and the connectors you take from the wiring harness I've got are right, but you've got to take them from this. So I come down here, I've obviously looked, it has been done in the past, because all these wires here are usually in one whole harness, but someone's chopped them and opened the harness up. So half the job's been done for me. I just need to run these two plugs up here and then plug the radio into them. I am gonna have to do quite a bit of cutting and stuff, but as long as I plug that new harness into those connectors, then that's going to link up the colours for me. So what I was seeing is, when the hardest thing when you're doing something like this, you don't know what wire does what. Where I plug in that connector, it's going to match up the wires, then all I need to do now is just chop both connectors and just wire them up colour to colour. So as I say, I won't be able to do that now, so I've not really got many tools on me, I've not got much wiring tools, and it's getting dark. But at least I know that, and I know that that's been done. So as you say, most of it's probably all going to be cut, so that's, I mean, it's annoying, but at least I know now. I think I'm going to give that a go tomorrow. I'll get all the wiring and stuff that I need, well, just the wiring tools that I need, and we'll be bopping in no time, boys. So yeah, see you tomorrow, boys.